What's up with everybody? This is Memorial B.
And Nicole.
We're back here with some more reaction videos. What happened when you die, man? A whole lot of people got their ideas what happened when you die. If you into religion, you probably have like a brief idea. If you're a Christian, you probably think like either you go to heaven or you go to hell. I guess Muslims have the same thing.
This video is even gonna go on the spiritual level.
No, I don't think it is.
I'm just saying like body decomposition.
No, I know that. I'm just saying like I think that's what some people wonder like what happened.
Well, yeah, nobody knows for sure. We all have different thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, my beliefs, you either go to heaven or hell. It just what you was raised in and what your core beliefs are. So, we can dive right into it.
What happens when you finally kick the bucket, so to speak? Despite our
bucket.
mostly science-grounded views on death these days, it seems many of us believe in life after it. In 2014, UK citizens were polled by The
there you
Telegraph,
go.
and just under 60% of respondents said they believe some part of us lives on. In the US, still a very Christian nation, Pew Research in 2015 asked people what happened after you die. The survey found that 72% of Americans believed you go to heaven, which was described as a place where people who have led good lives are eternally rewarded. 54% of US adults replied that they believed in hell, which was described as a place where people who have led bad lives and die without being sorry are eternally punished. With that in mind, welcome to this episode of the Infographic Show, What Happens When You Die. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. It seems a lot of people do believe that after death we might be ensconced in some cloud-strewn paradise, or conversely, if we haven't adhered to the ethics prescribed to us by our chosen religion or denomination of that religion, we might be faced with eternal hellfire and the prospect of groveling to a bearded red man who hardly ever puts down his
Bearded
pitchfork.
red man?
But let's start with some empirical realism and what actually happens to the body when we die. Physicians know you're dead because the heart stops beating and there is no longer any electrical activity in your brain. Brain death equals dead, although machines can keep you going a little bit longer. You can also have what's called a cardiac death, which means the heart stops beating and blood no longer flows through your body. The strange, even wonderful thing is, people that have suffered cardiac death but have been brought back to life have said they were aware of what was going on around them. Others have talked about walking towards a light in such a near-death experience. You can be brought back from what we call clinical death, but you only have a grace period of about 4 to 6 minutes. But let's say you get to the light and pass through. This is what we call biological death. Game over, the final whistle, dead as a dodo. This is where it gets kind of undignified, but what do you care, you're dead. Once you're definitely no longer with us, your muscles relax, and this means your sphincter will too, meaning that triple whopper and large fries you had for lunch will spill out of you. The gas you have in you may also leak out and cause a stink. The same goes for the pee you've got in your bladder. So dying, not surprisingly, is a bit of a messy affair. And men, you might even ejaculate. As for women, you may give birth after you have died if you were pregnant, which is something called coffin birth. It doesn't happen often though. Instead of pushing, it's the gases in the abdomen that squeeze the newborn into the world. As the body gets rid of what is trapped inside, noises may be emitted from your mouth as air escapes. Nurses and people working close to dead bodies have regularly reported hearing very alive-sounding moans and groans coming from dead bodies.
Oh, that's so
you may
weird.
twitch, but this doesn't mean there is life in you. These are just muscle contractions. You could also soon get an erection if you died lying on your stomach and the blood flowed down there. All your blood will pool to a certain area of your body. This is called livor mortis, and it's the reason parts of you will have that dark purple color you have seen on TV. These are the lovely things that can happen quite shortly after you go. With no blood flowing through your body, it will begin to cool down, known as algor mortis, or simply death chill. It will keep cooling until it is the same temperature as your surroundings. You will become stiff within about 2 to 6 hours, and this we call rigor mortis. This is because calcium is getting into your muscle cells. Cells break down without blood flow, and this leads to bacteria growth, and that's why you start to decompose. You may look like your hair or your nails have grown, but that isn't the case. What is happening is that your skin is receding, giving the impression of growth. The skin will loosen too, and blisters will appear on the body. The next stage is putrefaction, when bacteria and microorganisms start feasting on you. You'll soon start to stink as bad as anything you could have imagined while you were alive. One person described the smell as rotten eggs, feces, and a used toilet left out for a month times 1,000. It is unholy. Soon everything that is soft becomes liquefied, with things like bones, cartilage, and hair remaining strong. You're already well on your way to decomposing by the time you are being put in the ground, but if embalmed and buried, decomposition could be a slow process. Left above ground, you'll be a liquefied mess within about a month, feasted on by insects, maggots, plants, and animals. Underground,
Very true.
some experts say it might take 8 to 12 years before you are reduced to nothing but a skeleton. After around 50 years, even your bones will become part of the earth. We should add the rate of decomposition depends on all manner of factors, too many to list here, but we think you get the picture. While some people report that their near-death experience was a scene to behold, that's not always the case. One person writing on Reddit said his experience was as follows. It was just black emptiness, no thoughts, no consciousness, nothing. Is there really something else? Irish empiricist philosopher George Berkeley was so hell-bent on knowing what happens after death, or those moments during clinical death, that he actually hanged himself to the point of death with a
What?
friend nearby ready to cut him down before he died. He believed there was something between heaven and
Dang.
earth, perhaps what philosophers have called the ether. The story has become lore in philosophical circles, but it's thought all Berkeley really discovered was that hanging hurts your neck.
Okay.
French
Yeah.
philosopher René Descartes believed the soul was separate from the body, as many religions will tell you, and perhaps when we die, something lingers on. Friedrich Nietzsche talked about the concept of eternal recurrence, or eternal return, meaning all existence or energy in the universe has forever and will forever
Yeah.
keep repeating
Come back
itself
to Earth
ad
somehow or
infinitum.
another.
You live the same life again and again forever.
Oh,
now,
what?
doesn't that make you want to live well? Here we can make similarities to
Yeah,
the Buddhist
but
belief
we'd
of the
remember
Wheel of
something,
Samsara,
right?
wherein all souls or lives will begin a cycle again after death, except not the same exact life. Something we call reincarnation,
I was
which
gonna
some
say
people say is
reincarnation.
connected to what we sometimes call deja vu. Buddhists believe we
I
can
do
end
like
this
that.
vicious cycle if we can become truly enlightened, therefore achieving nirvana.
Hmm.
Or do we make our way to heaven after our bodies stop working, tipping our cap to St. Peter at the pearly gates, hoping he won't deny us entrance for stealing that candy bar
Aw.
when we went on a school trip to Niagara Falls? Will we be taken into paradise, a place replete with excellent foods and gorgeous maidens that make your dead knees go weak? Or will we simply seed the earth, our souls nothing more than a worldly fancy that took our minds off our cosmic insignificance and the feeling of futility that we sometimes experience here on terra firma?
That's pretty interesting, man.
That's interesting.
The stuff the body does when a person dies. You know, I already know like bodies be really, really smelly. You know, but he said like times 1,000, like you know, rotten eggs.
Yeah, I mean, I
flesh
knew a
torch
lot of
times
it,
1,000.
but at the same time, like, I knew, but I didn't necessarily know that like a body would make a bunch of noises with
yeah.
gas escaping.
I bet that was kind of like nerve wracking. Like you were like a
Yeah.
nurse or whatever,
Especially
and you
if
hear
you're, like,
that.
new and you
Knew
don't know that.
What the hell? Is it still alive?
It makes for some great practical jokes though too.
Yeah. And they say it may appear that like your nails and your hair might be growing, but it's really your skin.
Yeah, your
just,
skin's receding.
Yeah.
Eee.
Dang. And they say it takes about 50 years for your bones, everything to really be like.
Yeah, I know it takes
What
a
it
long
is.
time for your like flesh is quick, but
Yeah.
your bone and everything,
Yeah.
it's like takes a really really long time. I thought it would be more than 50 years actually, but
Yeah.
it's kind of what he said, isn't it?
Yeah. Man. And some people, report they say they see the light and.
Oh yeah, the
You know,
near-death experiences.
Yeah, near-death experiences. Yeah, I read a lot about near-death experiences. I think they're real. Some people might think like, oh, they're just hallucinating, but I don't know, man. Too many people report on it all the time, and I don't think all these people can be lying about it. Some people say that they see heaven. Some people say they see hell. Some people say they just seen a ton of light. Some people say they just seen like the one guy said,
Yeah.
just darkness, consciousness. He was no nothing. So it's all different types of like things that people see.
I definitely believe that some people have had them. I don't believe in all of the stories.
No, I don't
think
believe all
some people
some.
make them
But
up.
I do believe some people do have
but I
true
do think
stories.
some of them happen.
Some stuff is like unexplainable,
Mm-hmm.
and like man, like for instance, like the stories I read, like some people when they say they had an out of body experience, they seen heaven, they was like they probably went up there, they was up there for like maybe an hour or 2 hours, but when they came to, it's only 4 minutes went by. Just like he said, like you was like 4 or 5 minutes. He
'cause
said, but
time is different
yeah,
up
time is
there,
different
yeah.
up there and stuff like that.
Which is so creepy, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because for most people, if you're having an out-of-body experience, you're not going to be dead that long.
Yeah,
Because
you're
like they
not-
said, if you are clinically dead, which
Yeah.
is your heart is stopped for more than 4 to 6 minutes, then you're going to be dead because your brain's not getting
Yeah.
oxygen. You're going to be brain dead. So
I mean,
no reviving
it's
you.
unimaginable. It's just to think about, like, oh, okay, I was up in this place for 3 hours, but only 4 minutes went by.
Right.
Like, how is that even possible? It
it's
makes
like
you
a blink
wonder.
of an eye in your
Yeah,
human life.
yeah, that's
but yeah,
pretty
you feel
is,
like you
yeah.
live there forever.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That would be kind of cool. It would be so interesting to experience that. Not that I want to have a near death, like almost die, but just to experience that would be interesting.
That'd be crazy. Like, would you?
He's basically saying you live the same life over and over and over.
Yeah, we do it over again. Will you be like a different life, or a different person, or something like that?
I thought it was saying you would live the same life over and over again, like a vicious cycle.
It was this thing I read. It was pretty funny. They said, what if you lived your life, you died, and then you see the light, and then as you're going through the tunnel, it's you being born again. You just crying.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that before.
Yeah, you just cried and stuff like that. I gotta do this all over again. And then you lose all your memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
And then, you lose your memory as you're being born, so you don't remember any of it. And
you at the last second as you're going through
gosh.
you start crying. I gotta do this all over again. And then your memory gets zapped.
It's a really interesting theory.
But we're about to go into this video. Mm-hmm. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Awesome content. If you want to support our channel, check out the link to our Streamlabs and leave a video request and include the link. Mm-hmm. Make sure to keep the videos under 12 minutes. Don't forget to subscribe.
And thumbs it up.
Turn on notifications. It's your memory B.
And Nicole.
We want to catch you on the next video. Awesome. Peace and love, baby.